Thanks for clicking. The Ontario Liberal Party released its plan to make Ontario's housing market more affordable this week, in part by going after real estate speculators.
What the man?
Well, we've already talked about the PCs and the NDP planning on building 1.5 million new homes, and the NDP offering a shared equity first-time homebuyers program. The Liberals have largely differentiated themselves by going after the real estate speculators and real estate investors. So what I want to do today is go over the Liberal housing plan, discuss its strengths and weaknesses, and then go over what to look for next. We're set to receive Canada's inflation rate for the month of April next week, which will have a big impact on the Bank of Canada's decision to raise interest rates on June 1st. We'll obviously have updates out on that inflation rate on this channel. If you want to get those updates, make sure you click like and subscribe. But for now, let's get into this Liberal Party platform. The Liberal Party's plan to build 1.5 new homes closely resembles that of the NDP in that they want to create a special body that will oversee the construction of affordable housing. And there are also elements of the PC's plan where the Liberal Party wants to create the construction of secondary dwelling units, laneway units, multiple unit dwellings as of right, meaning developers, homeowners that want to do renovations won't have to go to the municipality for special approval, so they won't be getting bogged down in the process of creating more units. They will be as of right across the province. Municipalities are creatures of the province, so the province can call the tune and the municipalities have to dance to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So by doing this, the Liberals are thinking that we can create more spaces without getting bogged down by municipal bureaucracy. But the Liberal platform is also introducing a vacancy tax, a 5% tax on non-Canadians who own properties in Ontario, which remain vacant, and a 2% tax on owners of vacant properties in Ontario that are of Canadian citizenship. So, if you are a landlord, if you are an investor, a speculator, and you are a non-Canadian, you'll be taxed at 5% of the assessed value. If you are a Canadian, you'll be taxed at 2% of the assessed value. And the hope is that this will encourage landlords, speculators, investors to either A, sell the property, or B, get them rented, not hold out for higher rent, which the idea would be to make housing more affordable. The Liberals also want to introduce a use it or lose it levy against developers, against builders who have building permits on service lands but aren't building. And I think this is really interesting, as I've spoken to a number of realtors who say part of the problem with our supply crisis is that developers own all this land, but they aren't building on it because they're waiting for prices to rise. So, if you do introduce a levy, a tax by any other name, against these builders for holding on to this serviced property, these serviced areas that are just waiting to be built upon, if you introduce a tax on them to build, it's more likely that our supply crisis will at least be diminished somewhat. With that said though, we don't know exactly how much this levy is going to be as of yet, and I think it's important that they make sure that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. In that if they only raise a 1% tax on these developers, but price appreciation goes up by 10%, then it will still be worth it for developers to sit on this land. So hopefully we get more details out on this levy, but I think it's definitely a good step forward to fixing the problem of developers just sitting on vacant land and not putting it to use.
Or get off the pot.
And finally, the Liberal platform plans to make home inspections a legal right. And this closely follows that of the Federal Liberal Party, who promised to make home inspections a legal right in their Homebuyers Bill of Rights, which we haven't heard too much about since the election. I think this legal right would be welcomed by many first-time homebuyers who have, in the past few years, been hesitant to include a home inspection condition on their offer to purchase for fear that that offer would not be accepted.
Don't do it! I'm warning you, do not do it!
So there is quite a bit in this platform that real estate investors, real estate speculators are not going to like. The vacancy tax, the use it or lose it tax are definitely going to put more pressure on investors, on real estate speculators to make use of housing for housing purposes and not financial speculation. With that said, I think we do need more details on this legal right to a home inspection idea. We did see this in the Liberal Party platform in the 2021 election, and although we haven't heard too much about it, I think more details are needed vis-a-vis implementation. Will a home inspection be enough to back out of a legally binding offer to purchase? Will there be certain elements of the home inspection which can allow buyers to back out? Will the buyers be able to back out based on home inspection when in reality perhaps it was a financing condition? All of these I think need to be much more fleshed out by the Liberal Party, and we do have a few weeks left of the election to get those details. If we do get those details coming out from the Liberal Party, or any details coming out from the NDP or the PCs on their housing plans, we'll obviously have updates out on this channel. If you want to get those updates, make sure you click like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.